couple of instructions before we get started. You guys will get 1 minute to look at your motion cards, gather your thoughts, write notes on your cards. You can write on your cards, rip them up, do whatever with them. Just no talking between each other, no super secret signals between your chairperson and floor members. After your 1 minute, we will start with your presentation. You get 11 minutes. After that 11 minutes, we will start deducting points for time. And then after that 11-minute demonstration, we will do your oral questions. Everybody can see the clock? Okay. Any questions before we get started? Okay, Levi will give you the next step.
Okay, so yes, when I count down and I hit 0, yeah, I know. When I hit 0, you can turn around, grab the paper, and you can begin work. You all will have 1 minute at a time. 3, 2, 1, 0, begin.
It's okay. Sometimes you forget to count. It's not a big deal. Yeah. Good.
That is 1 minute. Dr. Maxwell will begin the timer on the gavel.
Is there any new business that should be transacted at this time?
Mr. President,
Amendment number 3.
I move to reconsider the motion that the Princeville FFA chapter work with the Township Road Commissioner to coordinate a roadside cleanup day this summer.
Second.
Voted on the prevailing side.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we reconsider the motion that the Princeville FFA chapter work with the Township Road Commissioner to conduct a roadside cleanup day this summer. This motion is debatable, it is not amendable, and requires a majority vote. Amendment number 3, you have first rights to discussion.
Thank you. Since we have last voted on this motion, I have been recently brought up to me from several of my friends who are part of the Boy Scouts Club who have said that there has been a lack of participation in this kind of event in these roadside cleanups. And I believe that it will be in our benefit to reconsider this motion. That is why I urge you guys to vote yes.
Mr. President!
Amendment number 1.
I think that this reconsider would be a great idea. I've talked to the road side commissioner, and they said that they would love to work with an FFA chapter, especially because it would give them a chance to work with their high school youth. And that's why I think that we really need to reconsider how we voted on this. That's why I urge you to vote yes.
Mr. President!
Amendment number 4.
I don't believe this to be a great idea. We've already voted on this, saying that we do not have time. We already have a lot of community cleanups that are happening, and we already have a lot of things coming up, such as banquet and state convention. So I urge you to vote no.
Is there any further discussion on this reconsider? Seeing none, will now proceed to majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No!
The noes have it. We will not reconsider the motion.
Mr. President,
Amendment number 1.
I move the Princeville FFA chapter conduct a surplus hay drive in our community during the month of May with the proceeds to be distributed to a drought-stricken FFA chapter in Kansas.
Second!
It has been properly moved and seconded that the Princeville FFA chapter conduct a surplus hay drive in our community during the month of April with the proceeds to be distributed to a drought-stricken FFA chapter in Kansas. This motion is debatable, it is amendable, and requires a majority vote. Amendment number 1, you have first rights to discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. We do a lot of cleanup and we do a lot of community service within our own community, but we don't do a whole lot outside of Princeville, and Princeville's pretty small. I think that if we could do something, especially for an FFA chapter all the way in Kansas, it would be an awesome opportunity for all of our FFA chapters. Not only that, but we do most of our community service in the fall. We don't do a whole lot in the spring, and I think this would be a great opportunity to do something like that and continue our service into the spring. That's why I urge you to vote yes.
Mr. President!
Amendment number 2.
I'm not sure that this motion is a great idea. With the current price of hay being so high, I'm not sure that a lot of people would be willing to give up a whole lot of their hay. While I think this might be a great idea, I'm just not sure that we can get the participation needed. That's why I urge you to vote no.
Mr. President!
Amendment number 4.
I don't believe this to be the best idea. We have a lot going on right now that I already have said, but I just don't think we have the room to even conduct our own hay drive. We grow the hay ourselves. We do not have a plot to grow it on, so there's not anywhere for us to do this. So I urge you to vote no.
Mr. President,
Amendment number 3.
I believe that this motion is a very good idea. Being a hay producer myself, I realize there's been a surplus of hay the last several years, and I believe that rather than just donating time and money, we can donate resources like hay to a drought-stricken chapter out in Kansas. And that's why I urge you guys to vote yes.
Mr. President?
Member number 5.
I move to postpone this motion indefinitely.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we postpone this motion indefinitely. This motion is debatable, it is not amendable, and requires a majority vote. Member number 5, you have first rights to discussion.
Thank you. Many of the local farmers in our town do sell their hay, and it's one of their main sources of income. Doing this would take that away from them and would no longer be able to provide us all the goods that they do for our hog roast and for our banquet in the spring. Vote yes.
Mr. President?
Member number 2.
While I am against this motion, I'm not sure that killing it right now is the best idea. I feel if we could take some time to figure out what we want to do with this motion, that we could get a better plan and figure out what our attendance and numbers would be. That's why I urge you to vote no.
Mr. President?
Member number 4.
I believe this would be a great idea. We simply do not have a lot of time for this. We don't have many farmers that would be willing to give up their hay, as member number 5 did say. They have a lot of things that they have to use with their hay, so I just don't think it'd be worth our time to try and do this. So I urge you to vote yes.
Mr. President?
Member number 1.
I think that killing this motion right now would be a huge missed opportunity. The agriculturists in our community are so generous, and I think that this is a great opportunity to get them along with us and our community service and involve them, especially in an FFA chapter that they support so much. I urge you to vote no.
Mr. President,
Member number 3.
I move to suspend the rules that we raise our hands rather than stand when a 2/3 vote is required.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we suspend the rules, that we raise our hands instead of standing when a 2/3 vote is required. This motion is not debatable, it is not amendable, and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor, please rise. You may be seated. All those opposed, please rise. The noes have it. We will not suspend the rules of our members. We're now back on discussion of the postpone indefinitely.
Mr. President?
Member number 5.
I move to the previous question.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we move to the previous question. This motion is not debatable, it is not amendable, and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor, please rise. You may be seated. All those opposed, please rise. The yeses have it. We will now proceed to a vote on this postponed indefinitely. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No. Division.
Division has been called. We will now move to more accurate means of voting. All those in favor, please rise. You may be seated. All those opposed, please rise. You may be seated. The noes have it. We will not postpone this motion indefinitely.
I rise to a question of privilege.
State your question.
May I please use the restroom?
No, you may not.
I appeal the decision of the chair.
Second.
I simply ruled this way, member number 1, because we're in the middle of discussion, but you may at our next recess. All those in favor of upholding the decision of the chair, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
Decision upheld. We're now back on discussion of the main motion. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. President?
Member number 4.
I move to amend this main motion by inserting in the next school year to the end.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we amend this main motion by inserting the words "in the school year" to the end. If adopted, the motion would read, the Princeville FFA chapter conduct a surplus hay drive in our community during the month of April with the proceeds to be distributed to a drought-stricken FFA chapter in Kansas in the next school year. This motion is debatable, it is amendable, and requires a majority vote. Member number 4, you have first rights to discussion.
Thank you. I have heard some of my floor members' discussions, and I do believe that this might be a good idea, maybe not at this time. If we have more time to plan it out, we can get more things done and maybe make more of an impact in Kansas. So I urge you to vote yes.
Mr. President?
Member number 2.
I do not think this is a good idea. The drought in Kansas might not last all that long, and they would need the hay now if we wanted to make an impact with them. That's why I urge you to vote no.
Mr. President?
Member number 5.
I'm against this amendment. This changes nothing on the fact that our farmers do not have the financial backing to be able to do this, so I am against this amendment.
Is there any further discussion on this amendment? Seeing none, we'll now proceed to majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
The noes have it. We will not amend this main motion. We're now back on discussion of the main motion.
Mr. President?
Member number 2.
I move to limit debate to one discussion per member per motion.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we limit the debate to one discussion per member per motion. This motion is not debatable, it is amendable, and requires a 2/3 vote. Is there any amendments? Seeing none, we'll now proceed to a two-thirds vote. All those in favor, please rise. You may be seated. All those opposed, please rise. The noes have it. We will not limit the debate of our members.
Mr. President,
Member number 3.
I move to refer this motion to Committee of 5 appointed by the chair.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we refer this main motion to a committee of 5 appointed by the chair. This motion is debatable, it is amendable, and requires a majority vote. Member number 3, you have first rights to discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. As seeing in some of our problems with this is being able to plan out something so big, I feel like if we refer this motion to Committee of 5 appointed by the chair, this would really be able to give us a little bit of freedom in planning it, trying to figure out the logistics and everything that we're really going to need to do. And that is why I urge you guys to vote yes.
Mr. President,
Member number 5.
I am in favor of this referral. We do have a new officer team coming, but I do not think this is something they should start their year with. I think this would be something that would be enjoyed by many of our members, so vote yes.
Is there any further discussion on this referral? Seeing none, we will now proceed to a majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
The noes have it. We will now refer this main motion to a committee.
Mr. President,
Member number 2.
I move to recess for 5 minutes.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we recess for 5 minutes. This motion is not debatable, it is amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any amendments?
Mr. President,
Member number 4.
I move to amend this recess by striking out 5 and inserting 10.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we amend this recess by striking out 5 minutes and inserting 10 minutes. Is there any further amendments? Seeing none, we'll now proceed to majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
The noes have it. We will not amend this recess. We will now proceed to majority vote on this recess. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
The noes have it. We will not recess for 5 minutes.
Mr. President,
Member number 1.
I move to postpone this motion to our next chapter meeting.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we postpone this motion to our next chapter meeting. This motion is debatable, it is amendable, and requires a majority vote. Member number 1, you have first rights to discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's a lot of pushback on this motion. I think we all could benefit from some time to think over this motion. Also, our next chapter meeting would be banquet. This would include the people that we want to donate to our hay drive. And I think that would be the best place to get the input that we need for a motion like this. That's why I urge you to vote yes.
Mr. President.
Member number 2.
I'm not sure that this motion is a great idea. I feel like postponing it to our banquet meeting is just more business that we need to get in. We've got a really long meeting with a lot of stuff to cover during banquet, so that's why I urge you to vote no.
Mr. President.
Member number 3.
I do not feel like this postponement is a very good idea. I feel like this is such a big motion. We are trying to focus on taking up an activity that requires a lot of responsibility and focus and responsibility. And I really think that postponing it to our next meeting, which is the banquet, is not really going to be what we're going to want to do. We do not want to try to debate something like this in front of our entire community. That is why I urge you guys to vote no.
I rise to parliamentary inquiry.
Say your inquiry.
What is the vote on this motion?
Majority.
Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on this post?
Mr. President,
Member number 5.
I think this postponement is an amazing idea. We are going to have our new group of officers at this meeting, so I think that doing something with our old group of officers and our new group would be an amazing way to finish the year out.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we now proceed to majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
The noes have it. We will not postpone this motion to our next chapter meeting. We're now back in discussion of the main motion. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will now proceed to majority vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no.
No.
The noes have it. The Princeville FFA chapter will not adopt this motion. The floor is clear.
Mr. President,
Member number 2.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we adjourn this main meeting. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Yes, sir. Meeting adjourned.
Alrighty, we're going to get started with questions.
Please rise for oral questions.
Beat you to it. You're good. Contestant number 1, you had postponed definitely.
Yes, sir.
What is the purpose of postpone definitely by special order?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What is the purpose of postpone definitely by special order?
The purpose of postpone definitely by special order is to delay action on a motion because of special precedences.
How long can a motion be postponed if an FFA chapter holds regular business meetings every week on the same day?
It can be postponed to 2 meetings.
Contestant number 2, you had limit or extend debate.
Yes,
The motion to limit debate requires what vote to pass?
2/3 vote.
When is the limit debate considered exhausted?
Can you repeat the question?
When is the limit debate considered exhausted?
When it's been made twice during the meeting?
Contestant number 3, you had reconsider.
Yes, sir.
The motion to reconsider can only be made by the member who voted with the prevailing side. Explain this.
The motion can only be made by a member who voted on the prevailing side because, in a motion like a main motion, when it's prevailing side, they failed the motion, and that person is the only one who has the right to bring it back up, as they are the ones who, apologize, they are the ones who voted against it in the first place.
There is a time limit on a motion to reconsider. What is that restriction?
Can you repeat the question?
There is a time limit on a motion to reconsider. What is that restriction?
Time limit on the motion to reconsider is you cannot reconsider a motion after it has been failed no longer than 2 meetings prior. If the motion was made 1 meeting prior, then you can reconsider. 2 meetings prior, you cannot.
Contestant number 4, you had division of assembly. How soon can a division of assembly be made?
As soon as we vote around to what side we want to be.
When a division of the assembly is called, the chairperson is not obligated to take a counted vote. In large assemblies, how would the members demand a counted vote?
Could you repeat the question?
When a division of the assembly is called, the chairperson is not obligated to take a counted vote. In large assemblies, how would the members demand a counted vote?
They would demand a counted vote by unanimous agreement.
Contestant 5, you had parliamentary inquiry. What is the purpose of a parliamentary inquiry?
The purpose of a parliamentary inquiry is to ask the chair the rules of any motion.
The chairman's response to a parliamentary inquiry is not subject to an appeal. Why not?
Because it is not his opinion.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Mr. Chairman. You are instructed by a motion of the, sorry, let me just restart that. If you are instructed by a motion of the assembly to form a committee, who selects the chairman of that committee?
I do, as the chairperson, if given permission, I would select the committee.
The chairman is responsible for maintaining the proper decorum in a meeting. This includes expecting floor members to conduct themselves in a professional manner, demonstrating proper etiquette when debating a motion. Robert's Rules of Order establishes rules of decorum in debate. Name 2 of those rules. Second. The chairman is responsible for maintaining the proper decorum in a meeting. This includes expecting floor members to conduct themselves in a professional manner, demonstrating proper etiquette when debating a motion. Robert's Rules of Order establishes rules of decorum in debate. Name 2 of those rules.
One of them would be properly dressed for the meeting, and another one would be showing proper manners and good, being respectful to others during the meeting.
Okay. Very good. Good job. You guys are all finished up. Leave your motion cards and your number cards here. Any notes you took, leave them here as well.
Yep.
Yeah, just leave them right there.